My name is Doreen Bogdan-Martin, and I'm the Director of Telecommunications Development at ITU, the UN Specialized Agency for Digital Technologies. My mandate is to help our 193 member states and 800 private sector members leverage the power of digital as a driver of economic and social development. It's a big challenge with a broad field of action, but it is a vitally important one for the future of our planet and its people. I believe information and communication technologies have a huge potential to dramatically transform lives, particularly in the world's poorest countries. Through the power of digital, we can bring education to children in isolated communities, health to people who live far from a traditional clinic, and financial services to the estimated 2 billion people without a bank account. And through emerging technologies like AI, advanced image processing, and voice-driven interfaces, digital platforms are finally being able to make real inroads in areas like agriculture, which could revolutionize the lives of communities in poorer nations. The digital gender divide in developing countries is a very urgent problem because women are so often the key to other kinds of social transformation. We see, for example, that women play an absolutely vital role in the education, health and care of family members, and of course, women and girls also perform most of the agricultural work in subsistence communities. In more developed nations, women's access to technology is less of a problem. But on the other hand, we're grappling with a chronic lack of women opting for careers in the tech sector. That means women are missing out on the enormous opportunities for well-paid work in an exciting and fast-growing field. It also means that tech is being developed without women's input, which means that it all too often fails to meet women's needs, or it inadvertently exacerbates existing gender divides. The need to combat this trend is what prompted me to join with partners like UN Women, GSMA, the International Trade Commission, to found the Equals Global Partnership for Gender Equality in the Digital Age back in 2016. Equals fights the problem on 3 fronts, through coalitions tackling access, skills, and leadership, and it now boasts over 100 partner organizations around the world. We know that women undertake most of the care activities in the home related to elderly family members, that they bear more of the burden when it comes to children's education, and that they also comprise the majority of healthcare workers. That means they are not only struggling with extreme working conditions, including very long hours, but that they are disproportionately at risk of infection. Out in the wider workforce, women are also disproportionately employed in the service industries and the informal sector, which are amongst those hardest hit by the measures to reduce COVID-19 transmission. They are also paid less, and so more economically fragile, and they are most often the ones doing the additional unpaid care work. I think diversity is always a good thing in every sector and every team, not just gender diversity, but ethnic, cultural, and linguistic too. It's important to remember that we have some extraordinary women scientists working in the field of biotech and medical research. But it's also true that women are generally underrepresented. At the ITU, one of the things that we try to do through our Girls in ICT Day annual celebration and our work with Equals is to really throw the spotlight on some of these amazing role models. The Equals in Tech Awards, which are held towards the end of every year, are all about acknowledging and also publicizing outstanding achievements in digital technologies. I think we simply can't do enough to try to get girls and young women excited about this industry and about their potential role in it. We do see a strong correlation between women's access to education and their access to technology. In countries where women's rights are not prioritized, their ability to access digital devices and platforms also tends to be compromised. In some countries, there are also substantial cultural barriers to women's access, and we need to work more closely with these countries to make our case of why better access for women would actually benefit everyone. One area recently identified by GSMA in its new Connected Women report is women's access to smartphones. With mobile now the principal means of accessing the internet in developing countries, smartphone ownership can be a truly transformational device and force in the lives of women, bringing them personalized health information, educational resources, commercial opportunities, access to mobile money, and new services like voice-driven agricultural information platforms. I've been hugely privileged in coming from a very egalitarian family and spending most of my career in an international organization where awareness of these issues is well accepted. But that said, over the course of my 30-year career, I've certainly seen talented female colleagues that have been overlooked for promotion, female experts whose opinions were disregarded in meetings, all the usual things that women in workforce still complain about. And in my last role as Chief of Strategic Planning, I established the internal ITU Gender Task Force, initiating training sessions on women's leadership for staff, for delegates to ITU meetings, and also working with teams like our HR department to overhaul outdated gender-biased procedures. And while we haven't entirely solved our professional gender problem, we have made substantial progress. I hope the fact that I took the decision to run for elected office, becoming the first ever woman to hold one of ITU's 5 top posts, will greatly encourage other women to step up and to follow in my footsteps. Breaking down barriers can seem to be a very slow process, but then you look up and you see that the landscape around you has changed dramatically, and that's incredibly rewarding.